Homelessness 2.0 day 10 yesterday while I was doing laundry, which is right there. Let's see, you can barely see it. There it is. That is hiding a washer and a dryer outside. And right here yesterday, oops, I was visited by a little kitty cat. Don't know how old it was. Looked like it might have been a neighborhood cat. I was outside putting laundry into the washer. I turned around, the cat's just sitting there, blocking the door, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm stuck. Because, I'm not going to just start kicking cats around and moving them and stuff. I try to be somewhat copacetic with cats because, cats have been a big part of my life, especially in my youth. And, so I'm sitting there. And at first the cat doesn't seem to be too receptive, which is pretty normal. But sitting there and the cat's kind of meowing a little bit, and I'm kind of let it sniff my hands and stuff. And it's funny because like the moment I started petting that cat, the cat was just like rubbing all over me. It was like the moment that I gave it any kind of affection, it was like, hey, yeah, I'm good with this, which is reminiscent of me. I'm the kind of person who I'm pretty reserved in a lot of ways. I don't like to. I'm gonna go ahead and close the door because the point I've made has been made. Don't want to accidentally record any conversations or anything. But I tend to be kind of closed off at first in certain regards, especially when it comes to vulnerability emotionally and whatnot. And so, the cat being, I can come up with all kinds of crazy metaphors and parallels between me and that cat, and the fact that it doesn't seem to have a home, and the moment that anybody shows any kind of affection, it's all over and blah, blah, blah. But it was just nice to have, a cat around for a little bit. I hadn't had one. And the last time that I was even around cats was when I went to a cat cafe. It wasn't exactly the cheapest experience because I took an Uber there and an Uber back and then had to pay to be there and all that. And so it was like an $80 visit. This one was free. I guess if you count $70+ a day, then maybe not. But yeah. So that was nice. That, definitely lifted my spirits. It takes more of that for it to kind of be a cumulative thing, because just because it lifted my spirits yesterday doesn't mean that I'm in good spirits today or anything of that nature. But I got a couple things done, of course. I got the laundry done, and then cleaned up some dishes, went to the store, got some more food, made some guacamole with the older avocados. And then one of the problems, obviously, with avocados, anybody who knows this, especially when you get them from a cheap place, you never know how good they're going to be. And they weren't great. I haven't used all of them. I'm going to use the other couple. They made a lot of guac. And I decided before I went to the store that I was going to get some grilled cheese supplies because I wanted to make some grilled cheese. And so I got this butter wheat, Oro wheat, buttermilk. So I'm switching things around. And then if you want good melty cheese, I highly recommend Havarti and provolone. Good melty cheeses. Now, of course, if you want, cheddar or whatever, you can go for cheddar. It's fine. It's up to you. It's all about taste in that regard. But Havarti and provolone are really good melty cheeses that are great for grilled cheeses. especially if you don't want to go for like the Kraft Singles American cheese thing. It's something I learned not only just kind of through trial and error, but also beard. Beard hair keeps getting out of my mouth. But also through various cooking channels on YouTube. You know, I follow J. Kenji Lopez Alt, Claire Saffitz. I used to follow Bon Appetit, but that went out the window. Mythical Kitchen, Ethan Chablowski, I think. I think part of his name is silent. Benjamin Babish, You Suck at Cooking. I think probably a couple others that I can't think of right now. But, you know, each of them has educational factors that are involved. That's one of the things I like about the cooking channels. That's probably one of the reasons why people like watching, you know, the Food Network and other stuff, you know. Oh, Alton Brown as well. And so, so that's how I've come to learn about various, you know, supermarket cheeses and the like. And I like the flavors because they're a little different. They're not your typical, you know, mild cheddar. I learned years ago about sharp cheddar, and I was like, man, that just seems a little much. And then I started eating more and more cheeses, and then I started eating sharp, and I'm like, I prefer sharp cheddar over many things. And so, yeah, you know, time, experience, money, etc. And when, you know, I was getting regular unemployment, I would occasionally get some, you know, more exotic cheeses, places like Whole Foods and the like. And I even went onto a website called iGourmet and had some cheese delivered. There was a really good one. I think it was a Gouda. I like Gouda a lot. It's not a great melty cheese though, especially older cheeses generally are not good on the melty because they're usually more crystallized. But it's whatever. So I made a grilled cheese sandwich last night to add to the guacamole because then when I was in the process of making it, I was like, you know, a quesadilla is just a grilled cheese sandwich with different bread. Because, I mean, what is it? It's two pieces of typically flour made, you know, a flour bready type thing, product. And, you know, they just cooked and, you know, formed differently. Doesn't have nearly as much, you know, yeast and the like, at least seemingly. So, yeah, I mean, what is a quesadilla other than a grilled cheese sandwich? Controversial hot take of the day. So I made one of those. Like I said, the avocados weren't great. So I just had to add some extra spices and stuff to kind of really kick it up a notch, and threw in a little bit of my Last Dab XXX Apollo hot sauce. Just a little bit for some heat. And then, because I always like putting jalapenos in them, and I forgot. Because I wasn't really thinking about jalapenos at the time. Where the hell are you at? Since I watch Hot Ones, jalapeno. It's pretty good. I like it. I guess maybe one thing I could do is maybe tomorrow, I guess. I don't know. I'll go ahead and start off with like a quick tour, I don't know, of the hot sauces that I've got in the fridge. Set that up. Just kind of go through it. I got a response back from the driving academy. They were like, in order to get a driver's permit, you got to do the written test. So I've got to go do the written test, which means I've got to get an appointment done for that. And then they were like, you probably need like 6 to 10 hours, which is like $600 to $1,000. And I'm like, oh, fuck. It's like this whole thing sucks. Because I think the 2-hour one is like $200. It's basically $100 an hour for their driving program. And like I said before, they come and pick you up, which is good. I've got 3 weeks left, just under. And now the days are slowly starting to churn by faster. Reminds me of when I'm in college classes. Like the first week or two usually feels like it's super slow, but then they start to pick up, and every day feels shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. By the end of the semester, like the last week just disappears. And I'm feeling that that's going to happen here too. It's kind of like life. You know, the first few years of your life, I mean, a year at 1 year old is your entire life, but a year at 40 is 1/40th of your life. So the days and the years and everything, they just kind of go by slower or faster when you're older. Time's weird. Time literally is weird. And, you know, this whole daylight savings time thing just fucks with it more. Let's get rid of that, please. Part of that, I'm sure, is that, too, is the whole time change. Because I'm now waking up. Even though I should be waking up an hour earlier, I'm mostly waking up an hour later. So instead of waking up at like 7:30 or thereabouts, like I had been, now I'm waking up at like 9:30. Because the time change doesn't help me at all. Cat made me forget about my woes and the like for a bit, which is nice. But that doesn't go, you know, doesn't just go away. So I'm gonna clean up a couple dishes. The opening shot that I had a ribeye that I bought because I was like, well, I'd like to cook myself a steak at least once. I haven't had one in a long time. It's been pretty much since before all the lockdowns and everything. That was the last time I had a steak. I cooked for myself. I may have had one. Kind of had one in San Diego. I think it was Ossobuco. Can't remember. Anyway, I think I'm done. Have fun.